Collective, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. I am doing great. It seems that someone that you may have released, someone you have let go of, a situation that you have unplugged from, okay? This individual is now experiencing some sort of karma and they really want your compassion. Okay. I don't feel that you have not been showing compassion, but that is possible. Okay. We're going to look and see what's going on in this situation, what spirit wants someone in the collective to know. Remember, we are reading energy, past, present, or future, and energy can change at the drop of a dime. So take the message how it reverberates. All right. First card out we have is forgiveness. Okay. This could be somebody that you've actually already forgiven. You know, you walking away from the situation, you pulling away or disconnecting or cutting the cord was an act of forgiveness. Okay. It was an act of forgiveness. You've definitely released someone. You let someone go. Okay. And though this person may be going through karma, all right, they may be experiencing some karma at this time. They want your compassion, possibly because they don't realize that you've already granted them compassion. Okay. In your compassion, you chose to unplug, you chose to forgive, to release them, you chose to let them go the way they wanted to go. All right. We're going to see what's coming up, why spirit is bringing this up, and what it is that someone needs to know. They may feel that you've established some sort of boundary. Okay. You may have. This could be a family member. This could be a family member. Okay. Let go. Let go. All right. Let's see what's going on. Clarify forgiveness, spirit. Labyrinth. Labyrinth. Now, it may have been a very complex, challenging decision to make or to execute for you. But you managed to do this. Okay. I feel also that this person who you have forgiven and you have released, possibly because you have established boundaries, where you not only let them go, but you may not be letting them back in, at least in the way that they want, or at least in the way that they hoped for. That may be causing them some confusion, okay, and a challenge. They may not be seeing that you have already forgiven them. They may still be holding on to whatever it was that transpired in the past and the actions that they took or their reactions, how they reacted to you, because they are dealing with the karma, the consequences of those actions. All right. Um, so there may be some confusion about whether you have forgiven them or not. All right. But I feel like this forgiveness that you have managed to um give to this situation and to this individual was definitely challenging for you. It took you quite a while to get there, but you have arrived at this energy of forgiving the situation, forgiving the individual involved, yet you still have your boundaries as you probably should, right? Forgiveness doesn't mean, okay, come back into my life and let's do it all over again. Forgiveness just means that I see my participation, I see your participation. I am moving away from that energy and I release the energy of that and I release you, right? I release the expected outcome. Okay. Clarify labyrinth, spirit. Protection. Protection. Hmm. They may be trying to find a way back to you. And again, they are having a hard time. It is very challenging for them to reach out to you, to connect with you, to come back into your life. This is for your protection. Okay. You may also have seen, or you see now, that The way the situation played out before was for your protection the whole time. And so it is easy for you to forgive because you've reached the point in your healing where you see that rejection was protection. Okay. Denial was protection. Um, you moving away or this person moving away from you, abandoning you or ghosting you was for your protection. So now on the flip side, you have released them, you have forgiven the situation, and now this person finds it difficult to get back to you. And that is for your protection as well. Okay. Possibly even theirs, because if they, hypothetically was attempting to come back and maybe they haven't actually healed, then it would be bad for them to try to spin the block and bring the same negativity into your energy field again, because now it's like doubling down on the intention, right? So there is an element of protection here. Okay. So you could be very guarded and protecting yourself. And so it is keeping this individual from being able to see that you've already forgiven the situation. But that doesn't mean I won't be bosom buddies again. You know what I mean? Clarify, unplug, spirit. Solitude. Okay. So you have unplugged or had unplugged, or you're unplugging. You're going into this period of solitude. You are at a distance energetically and possibly physically from this individual. Tell me more. Perspective. You going into this solitude, you unplugging, it's almost like you were too close to the problem, right? You couldn't see the forest for the trees energy. So as you step back, you took that step back, you are able to put things into a clearer perspective for yourself. For yourself, okay? That something was done, or a particular experience took place the way it did, and it was for your protection. Clarify, release. What is that? Self-reward. Self-reward flipped over in the deck. I will acknowledge it and put it back. Clarify, release. Rescue. You letting this go, letting them go, put you in the energy for the divine to come and pull you out. Okay? Pull you out and away from it. All right. And this has allowed you on the bottom of the deck to begin the journey towards your rebirth. Okay. So this was definitely more than likely a karmic connection, family, friend, lover, otherwise, right? Um, but it was a catalyst for a rebirth for you. I feel like you also have been able to release this situation because you see that through this situation, you were being rescued by something that had more to do with you than this individual. You were being rescued, like this situation showed up to be the catalyst for your rebirth. And so there's no need to hold on to anything. Like there's no need to hold on to them. There's no need to hold on to any false expectations. There's no need to hold on to any disappointments that came by way of it. Tell me more. Yeah, healing. I love it. Yeah, releasing it set you on course for a divine rescue. It's almost like the whole situation was a strategy by your spirit team, by your ancestors, by the divine, by source, by the creator, to rescue you from something a lot more deeper than just what's playing out in your lived reality. What played out in this connection was just a mirror to something more. And you chose to unplug. You chose to follow your intuition, to go into solitude, to get a clearer perspective. This has allowed you to clear a lot of karma for yourself. Okay? For yourself. Clarify, compassion, perseverance, perseverance. Give me one more. Challenges. We have shadow and restless energy. I feel like this is this individual's energy. They are overcoming some of their shadows. Now they're being put in a position to have to face their shadows. Okay. They are wanting some compassion, but I feel like you've already granted it, but you just haven't granted them access. And so, because you haven't granted them access to you again, they may not be seeing that. And so, it's creating a restless energy. It's creating possibly even a depression. This person could be drinking a lot. They need to surrender, to be honest, but this again has nothing to do with you. Now we have friendship here on the bottom of the deck, came out in reverse. Yeah. I feel like they want you to unsurrender the friendship. Like they want you, because we have silence here. So your silence is what's causing the restless energy that they need to surrender. Okay. They need to surrender something again that has nothing to do with you, but there's projection here. And it's not necessarily a malicious or bad thing, but when you are on that receiving end of the karma, right? When you're on the receiving end, I don't know what took place. I'm not really sure, but I feel like this person is holding on to the idea or the desire for forgiveness, but you've already granted it. You've granted it. I mean, is I don't know. They may not have a clear understanding of how forgiveness works. But if they also are spending a lot of time dealing with their shadows and they're not actually healing, they're drinking. You know what I mean? Like they're drinking their way through their shadows. Okay. They're overindulging in something because they have anxiety, possibly depression, possibly distress, because they're not surrendering it. Which this could be the key to, like, if they were to heal properly, or when they reach that place of healing for themselves, because I see the keys here, right? Silence. And then we have friendship. So it's not that there may not be a time in the future where this friendship, this partnership, this familyship, whatever this is, could come back together, right? Where you could unite and communicate, but they would need to surrender their shadows. They would need to not medicate themselves. They would need to heal properly. So their attention is on the wrong thing because they want your compassion when really your compassion don't have nothing to do with really what they're going through. It's that they're not taking the mirror that presented itself to them through your connection in the past. They're not taking and doing what you did, which is turn inward and look at the deeper issue here so that they can experience a rebirth and a healing for themselves. So there's this misalignment in the energy because this individual is still in the space that they are in. Okay, let's see what else it is Spirit wants you to know. Spirit, why is this coming up for the collective right now? um where are we going? What do you want me to do? Why is this coming up for the collective right now? Hmm. You're about to take a leap of faith, possibly towards something, possibly something that you're not talking about very much. Clarify. Tell us more. Why is this showing up to the collective? We have the Nine of Swords. You're awakening to your spiritual gifts. Okay. Waking to your psychic abilities. There's something you may know intuitively. Tell us more. The Knight of Wands in reverse. Spiritually, you may know not to go back towards this individual. Okay. Not to go back towards this individual. Now, you've had to be strong. This is somebody you definitely care about. You definitely care. You still care. Okay. And I know somebody gonna jump in the comments and be hollering. Y'all be tickling me. Y'all really do. I get it. Right. But this is someone you care about that you can't go towards. You shouldn't, because you could do whatever you want to do, but you shouldn't go towards. So you are utilizing your strength, your confidence, and your willpower to avoid allowing this person back in or allowing yourself to go towards this individual. Okay. Tell us more. Queen of Pentacles. You could be, this could be either a sibling and you're the older sibling, or this could be a child, an adult child. Wow. Wow. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles in reverse, or adult children or siblings. Three of Cups that you love. You do love. Yeah. Strength, obsessed, Six of Swords. You really want this situation to get into calmer waters. I feel like this person or these individuals do too. Okay. I just heard Spirit say, because you miss them, they miss you. We have the reverse Five of Pentacles, recovery. There is definitely this energy of wanting to reunite. You're having to be strong right now because there's something misaligned. There's something still misaligned. You're having to make the hard decision. I'm hearing tough love. Tell us more. Decision, a hard one. Okay. One that is calculated, though. One that is necessary. It's not what you want. It's not what they want. Take it how it reverberates, apply the energy where it needs to be. But nevertheless, it is a decision that needed to be made. Okay. Page of Wands. The reverse Two of Swords. And the Three of Pentacles. You're allowing the decision that you needed to make. You see that it was the right one. You see that it was the right decision to make. This individual, who could be either a younger sibling or a child, an adult child of yours, or children, could be more than one. They were mishandling your provision, whether it's energetic provision, emotional, mental, financial, right? Like all of the above. They were mishandling something, making poor decisions, and wanted you to collaborate after they had made poor decisions. Six of Cups. Definitely could be children, definitely could be siblings. Tell us more. Yeah. This is you. This is forgiveness as well. Yes. But this is also calling judgment on a situation. Okay. So the judgment you've called, the decision you've made, is not out of any like this feels more like family, but this feels like you may be the matriarch or the patriarch with these individuals, or at least in that particular role, whether you are an older sibling and this person is these individuals are younger than you. I'm going to say these children are younger than you, and so they see you as a mother or father figure, right? You being the older sibling, or this is actually your adult children, because that's the energy that's coming through for me pretty loud and clear. You made a judgment call, but it was not out of anger or maybe frustration, maybe a little bit of irritation, but also out of the fact that you as an individual, though you are their mother, though you are their father, though you are whatever role you play for this person or these individuals, you are your own person as well. And you had your own healing that you needed to go and explore, which you have done, right? So unfortunately, because family, and this is a family dynamic, because unfortunately it was family that you had to kind of pull yourself away from and close down access and keep access closed until such time as they begin to make better decisions for themselves. Okay. Hmm. Karmic connection. What is this? I mean, I don't know if one or I don't know if your child or your children or your younger siblings are involved in a karmic connection and it was causing issues as it relates to impeding upon your development, or them wanting to provide for you, or sometimes how people, young folks, get in relationships and that's their man or that's their woman, but they man don't got no money, you know what I'm saying? Or they man is not able to pay bills, or they man don't want to go get a job, or they woman don't want to contribute and don't want to work, don't want to cook, don't want to clean. So they need you the mother, you the older sister, but they need you to pick up the slack when they have a whole nother human being that they claim they in a relationship with, but that other human being is not taking care of their responsibilities in that relationship. It's giving me like, as a parent figure or a parent, you needed to make a decision for yourself to stop coddling or to stop overly nurturing so that you could focus on you and they could focus on them and they could learn from the consequences of their actions. Two of Wands. And then you got a King of Wands and now a Two of Wands and a Five of Cups. Yeah, that's what it's giving. King of Swords. Seven of Wands. The Hierophant. Uh-huh. I just heard somebody's calling themselves the head, like the head of the house, but their karmic is all get out. Then I see the Seven of Wands. Then I see the Hierophant, which could very well be a marriage, like a sibling, a younger sibling, or a child is married to someone who calls themselves the head of the house, but they're karmic and they're broke. They're not able to provide for their family. And I don't feel like it's circumstantial, because that happens at times. You get laid off, or I don't feel like that. I feel like this is someone who, a sibling or a child, has gotten involved with somebody, and just for the sake of having somebody, they're allowing this karmic individual to guide or to lead them. And now they are experiencing the karma, the backlash, the consequences of being led by someone who is karmic. Now, you may have tried to advise them. You may have been providing for them on the side, like doing some things for them, being there for them, but it was impeding upon your growth and your development. Maybe your divine team, your spirit team advised you to let them lay in the bed that they're making. Let them lay in the bed that they're making. Like, don't come to the rescue. Don't come to the rescue. Yeah. Page of Pentacles. Clarify this King of Swords. Seven of Swords. You may have told this sibling or child that this King of Swords is going to betray you or deceiving you or is deceiving you. This is a karmic connection. But this person is showing up as a Page of Cups. Hopeless romantic energy. They didn't receive what you had to say because they were goo for gaga over this individual. So they didn't receive it. They didn't receive it. They may have even told you to mind your business. Wow. I don't know where I got that from, but I see a reverse tower here and then the Hangman. They may have told you to mind your business. They may have told you that you don't know what you're talking about. They may have, it could have been a little bit of a heated situation back then. Okay. But this person was like googly eyes for someone. And you may have advised them that that it was a karmic connection. Tell us more. You don't know what you're talking about. That's what they told you. Mind your business. That's what they told you. May have caused a split. This may be the source of the split. This may be the point where you decided, let me stop talking. Let me mind my business then, right? So this is the break in communication, right? Reverse social media. This is the break in the communication. Because this person gets into these karmic connections, maybe have a history of being a hopeless romantic, and they're not willing to change that, or they didn't want to change that then. The Fool. Regret. They regret it now. Whatever you said has come to pass, or is coming to pass. Whatever you picked up is coming to pass. So, a fool for love is what I heard. Somebody was showing up as a fool for love. Let's get into some divine flow. What is the collective who had to make this decision concerning a loved one? What do they need to know going forward, Spirit? Energetic clearing. I feel like this is really giving you the time to go even deeper into your healing. I feel like this is giving you the time. By you releasing the energy, yes, it's possibly a child, an adult child. Yes, it is possibly a sibling. Yes, quite naturally, you still very much care and love for them, but they are adults, right? So by doing this, it's giving you the time to really focus on you. Okay? To really focus on you. And in that time, you could have discovered that you needed to let that go. You needed to let them go off and find their own way. You're now experiencing this rebirth, this healing. You know intuitively you're right. You probably knew that then. Okay. What does the collective need to know going forward concerning this I feel like there is going to be a reunion, but I feel like quite naturally so this individual who may be younger is showing up younger than you. If this message is reverberating for you, quite naturally, youth have to kind of make their own way. They have to bump their own head. We all been youth before. Okay. So we know how that go, right? Deepening. Deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. You definitely have gone deeper within. You have learned how to love with an open hand and not a closed fist. You've learned how to surrender, you know, and not to allow anybody to, sign you up for picking up their pieces when they keep going off and creating these, you know, dramatic and traumatic experiences for themselves. Because again, we all have a lesson we are here to learn. And sometimes we can overcare, we can over nurture, we can over empathize, especially if this is a child of yours, right? That motherly energy, sometimes we have to pull it back. We have to pull it back. We always gonna be their mama, but we got to pull it back. Or their father. Worth. Mm-hmm. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. I feel like also this individual, this child and or sibling is starting to deepen in the understanding of the worth that you hold in their life, right? Like they're starting to see like, man, my mama, man, I probably shouldn't have did that. I probably shouldn't have acted like that because she was right. This is a karmic connection. This person betrayed me and I went off and I flew off the handle. My father was right. My dad was right. So this individual may be seeing the depth of the worth that you hold in their life. Okay. Humility. Humility. Allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. Right, exactly. I welcome your help in every way and delight in receiving it. They're having an attitude adjustment is what they're having, which is beautiful, right? And this is the outcome you can hope for, especially when you're dealing with someone that you are either the parent or the parent figure of that don't want to listen to you, right? Because sometimes wisdom all the time wisdom comes by experience. And when we are the parent or the parent figure or play that role in someone's life, it's so easy to want to just go this way, do it this way, right? And then they don't do it that way, but then they don't even know what that way is because they haven't went that way to see that that's the wrong way, right? So it be a little bit challenging when you are the parent or you are the older sibling or whatever, or whoever, the aunt, the grandmama, or whatever you are, when you have someone that you are in the care of that is younger than you and they haven't experienced things, it's challenging to just let them go bump their head. But that's how we learned. If you be honest, okay, that's how they got to learn, right? We have sacrifice. Sometimes surrender is painful. God's cutting away all that needs to go. Illusions, obsessions, addictions. It's a sacrifice of love. Mm, yeah. So out of your love, um, they're starting to see it now. They're starting to see it now. That out of your love, you said what you said. Out of your love, you cut them off. Out of your love, right? Trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. I feel like this person has or is in the process of seeing the example that you had been setting for them as it relates to trusting their intuition, as it relates to, not allowing themselves to just be led like a page of cups with googly eyes for everything that winks at them or shows interest to them, right? I think that this individual, this child or this sibling is starting to see what it means. They're starting to get it. Okay. We have extraordinary. There's a wild, impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. And they're starting to see you as the extraordinary parent, sibling, parent figure, mother figure, father figure that you actually are. This is beautiful. I like it. This is beautiful. Okay. I don't know who this message is for, but well done. All right. Well done. I know that that's a hard decision to make when it's somebody you care about so much. But you made that decision, and out of that decision, you were able to go deeper and you were able to tap into some other things and give yourself the time to, honor yourself. You know what I mean? Honor yourself. Put you first. Like you're trying to tell them to put them first. Like, okay, if I'm going to tell them to put them first, then I'm going to have to lead by example by not maybe closing that door because this is getting to be too much for me. And in doing that, this person is starting to the light bulb is clicking on that they need to honor themselves. And you set that example for them. Okay. Well done. All right, collective. Thank you so much for tapping in. I look forward to your comments, letting me know how this message reverberated for you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you. Peace, fam.